Good afternoon, Nancy. So DocuSign here. We are just wrapping up a GITEX week. First time DocuSign is present at GITEX, and obviously we've seen a lot of customers and partners joining us. Looks like agreement is definitely something that is interesting.
Yeah, hot topic.
Yeah, and maybe so to get started with, so I'm Anne, I lead channel resale for Middle East and Africa. And maybe Nancy, it's a good opportunity to introduce you.
Yeah, Nancy Davis, lead partner solution architect for the EMEA region for DocuSign. So I typically work with our resale partners and our ISV partners.
So what about DocuSign? So DocuSign obviously is the number one leader in e-signature and contract lifecycle management. I would say our motto is probably to streamline digital agreements for all customers. What would you say in terms of the main use cases that we're seeing that bring value to customers?
So yeah, at the moment, that's factored by a lot of different things. So as you know, DocuSign solutions are non-verticalized. So it's really agnostic of industry, of line of business, because agreements are everywhere. So if you look in front office and back office, you've got things that keep the business running, right? From HR to procurement, in real estate as well, you have loads of agreement. Here in the UAE, we're seeing loads of use cases come from real estate, financial services, and it's really just seeing how organizations can make the best out of what they have, out of the technology they have, given the microeconomic environment that we are today. And that's pretty much where DocuSign strengths lie.
Great. And as we're in the UAE, and I guess we often get the questions about how do we comply with the local regulation, and how can we make sure that the person, whether it is a resident, a citizen, is going to sign a document, how can we make sure that person is the right one?
Yes, so in the UAE specifically, I mean, here in the UAE, I think a lot of the customers I've spoken with in GITEX this week are not just local businesses, they're global organizations, right? Looking at streamlining the agreement process from preparation to post-signature activities. So if you look at the phases of agreement, right? DocuSign's motto is we help the world agree better, right? So in terms of the main one of the concerns we're seeing is, as you say, how can I establish trust that my signer is who they say they are? And DocuSign has robust integrations globally to support those highly regulated environments or even use cases that are impacted by local compliance requirements. We have a very good integration with UAE Pass, which specifically allows residents and citizens of the UAE to be able to sign using their government-issued signature digital certificate. So that's really one of the areas where companies that operate in the UAE are seeing huge value.
Yeah, that's really a game changer, I would
Absolutely.
say. And how our customers and prospects can execute their business on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
And as we're at GITEX and there's a lot of tech companies around us, it's great that DocuSign is the number one in digital agreements, but how do we integrate with other applications? Is that a standalone approach, or can we interface with others? How does it work best?
You see, the great thing about DocuSign's offering is that it is flexible. And in terms of flexibility, so we want organizations that use us to be able to work smarter, easier, make life easy for them, and also more trusted, right? So they can carry out their business critical objectives. DocuSign supports three main ways for deployment. So for customers who are ready to go with their use cases and would like to use the DocuSign native applications, we have a web app, being a purely cloud-based solution. We have a web application where pretty much your customers can begin to use from day one. So a customer signs up, they don't really need to go through any sort of rigmarole to get themselves up and running. So we want them to be able to transact faster. We also support we also have a mobile application on Windows, the iOS devices, as well as Android. So customers can also leverage that technology in their agreements. For those on the go, businesses don't have to stop running. Now, another area of value that customers will be able to start to benefit from immediately as well is, if you look at your tech stack, I'm sure you've made heavy investments in applications that you use day to day. Right now, we have 400 plus integrations with solutions that businesses use on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of our customers see quick wins by integrating with platforms like SAP, Microsoft, Oracle, and the list goes on and on. So cross-vertical, cross-industry line of business, we have something. Where that doesn't exist and there's a more complex requirement by our customers or something more bespoke, customers can also leverage DocuSign's REST API. So we really have something for everyone in terms of, helping streamline business processes and getting introducing automation and into their digital transactions.
And if you had to summarize DocuSign in 3 words, what would you pick?
Good. Smarter, easier, and trusted.
Nice one. And as we wrap up, maybe there's one thing that we haven't touched, and we see here that it's definitely a priority for a lot of companies and partners. It's sustainability and environment. So how do we help the planet to be a healthier, better? Is there our technology is kind of bringing ways to do some savings and impact the planet?
Absolutely. So as organizations make efforts to become more sustainable and sort of adopt more kind of ERG goals, DocuSign sort of helps in that as well. So if you think about the amount of paper that is used, businesses are seeing not just reduce costs in adopting a new way of working, but also there's savings in terms of the environmental objectives as well. So we're using less paper, for example. We're cutting out on waste, printing, and all of that. So there is huge benefits in terms of sustainability goals. DocuSign's contract lifecycle management solution as well allows them to be able to see that value, not only from the point where they have to sign an agreement and print it off, but from day one when they have to prepare an agreement, for example, and store that agreement. So this is really helping them see huge benefits when it comes to their environmental objectives.
Okay, so if a company is looking at sustainability, is looking at streamlining its agreement process, at accelerating its transaction, having managing sensitive information safely, you should definitely look at DocuSign somehow.
I would definitely look at DocuSign, and you don't necessarily need a specific reason to, because your business runs on agreements, and I'm sure you can find ways by which you can remove those manual loopholes that are currently in your agreement through DocuSign. So absolutely look into DocuSign to streamline those processes.
And the whole DocuSign team is here to answer any questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll be happy to follow up that podcast interview. And thanks, Nancy, for your time today.
Thank you.
We look forward to meeting all our audience. And anytime, just reach out to us.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of GITEX.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.